Okay, I think we are live. Good morning. Let me get to the right screens. Okay, good morning, everybody. My name is Nicole Whitlock, and I am with Ecom Sellers. We are live in the e-commerce planning Facebook group. We're also on Facebook, so you can go look up e-commerce planning, and it's an open Facebook group. We also are live on Clubhouse, so you can also communicate with me there. So today, let me just give you my elevator pitch. I completely forgot about that. So my passion is helping people be successful in their e-commerce business, helping them to figure out what are the things that they need to be doing in their business every day to help grow and scale their e-commerce businesses. And so the activities, it's all about planning. It's all about being intentional in the activities that you need to do in your business. So that is my passion, and that is what I like to help people do. So if you want to gain access to the document that I am actually showing in the e-commerce planning Facebook group, you can actually go into the e-commerce planning Facebook group on Facebook and download that document so we can walk through it together. It's going to help us to make some decisions in our e-commerce business regarding what are the things that we should focus on for Q2, what should we be focusing on for April. And you can also grab the e-commerce planner. You can go to www.myecomplanner.com, ECOM1M. So www.myecomplanner.com. You can grab that. You'll also be able to gain access to the digital planner if you want to purchase that one as well. So then that way you can plan this online. So again, my name is Nicole Whitlock, and I'm with Ecom Sellers. And you can also connect with me on Facebook if you'd like to schedule a 20-minute coaching call to go through a free one, to go through your e-commerce plan for the for April or for second quarter. You can definitely go and schedule that by just going to www.ecomsellers.com and clicking on coaching and scheduling a 20-minute session there. So today we are going through our monthly planning. Yesterday we went through our weekly planning session, and then each day during the week we go through our daily planning session. So we only do the monthly planning session the last Sunday of every month. And this is our opportunity to make some intentional decisions about what we're going to do for the month of April, but also what are the things that we're going to do to kick off Q2 as an e-commerce seller, whether you're selling on Amazon, eBay, Etsy, Shopify, Walmart. This is your opportunity to kick off those activities that are going to help you move the needle in your business. Whatever your goal is, whether it's to be $1 million seller this year, or whether it's just to be consistent this year and to stop procrastinating in your e-commerce business, you got to have a plan. You got to have a strategy. You have to have an approach. And what are the things you need to be doing every single day in your business to really get the momentum that's going to help you get closer to your goal numbers, your year-end goal numbers. So I personally don't know which platform you sell on, and I don't know what your goal numbers are, but there are some activities that every e-commerce seller, no matter what you're doing, whether you're doing, retail arbitrage, online arbitrage, wholesale, drop shipping, print on demand, there's some activities that every single seller is doing. So every single seller has got to create listings. I don't care what platform you're selling on or what method, you got to create listings. You got to engage in shipping related activities, even if somebody is shipping for you. You've got to engage in some level of shipping related activities, and you got to do some sourcing. Those are like the big three. And then there's a bunch of other stuff you need to do. There's administrative activities, there's marketing activities, there's all kinds of customer service related activities. But again, if you don't have a listing, you have nothing to sell. So we're going to start with some of the basics, and then we can build and scale our business from there. So in this monthly planning session, if you go to the e-commerce planning Facebook group again, you can download this document around monthly planning. And it's about being intentional about your future success. So in this, we're going to step through this document. We're going to step through the activities, and I will reference the digital document. I'm going to actually bring that up on my screen as well. The first thing is you got to do some month-end analysis. Now, I will tell you the month-end analysis is going to take a little bit of time because, again, we're making intentional decisions about our future. So that's going to take some time. The first thing is we're going to review and audit all of our month-end activities. Now, we're not at the end of the month Technically, Thursday is the end of the month, but this is to help you start preparing for the end of the month. Okay. So, what did you complete on your monthly planning schedule? If you have the e-commerce planning, you can just pull out your planner for the month of March. So, what were your goals for the month of March? You established some goals, you have some top goals for the month. You also have your income producing goals, your operations or administrative goals, your marketing and ads related goals. Like you have some goals, and then you have things that you put on your schedule on your actual planner. So I'm going to pull out, I think I have April pulled up, but I'm actually going to go back to March and we'll just look at March real quick. This little thing just kind of blows up. But anyway, you filled this out. Hopefully, you filled it out, and this is you assigning what are the activities I'm going to do every single day in my business, or what are the objectives for the month of March. Now, March again is the end of Q1, so there is still time to reach those March goals. Whatever your March goals were, you still have, including today, 5 days because it's March the 27th. You got 5 days to push it to get to Thursday. So, including today and every day until midnight or just before midnight Thursday, you got time. You really do have time to reach those March goals. So, make sure you go back and assess what they are so that you can start working towards those. In any case, we're going to review the month and we're going to look that's ending or that just ended. And did you complete the things that you had on your goals? Like, did you complete all the tasks, all the activities? If you didn't, you definitely want to incorporate that into your daily activities for this week, or you want to incorporate that into your weekly activities. And if you didn't get a chance to check out the weekly planning session, you can go back and listen to the session on Clubhouse, or you can, for yesterday, the 26th, or the you can join the e-commerce planning Facebook group, and you can go there and listen to the weekly planning session because you got 5 days, including today. If you didn't reach your goals, then work on those. But if we are technically at the end of the month, let's say you're doing this on the 1st or the 2nd, next Saturday, then you're going to review your top goals for the month. You're going to review all of your income producing goals, your administrative goals, your marketing goals. What were your weekly priorities that you have planned for the 4-week period? And every week you should be establishing what are the top priorities for the week. What were your weekly habits that you were tracking? How did you do? And on your habit tracking, we're not tracking habits on a weekly basis. Like, we're tracking them on a weekly basis, but we're not just putting something down for 7 days to track it. There's no way you're building a habit by tracking something for 7 days. You're building a habit if you're tracking something for 30, 60, 90 days or more. So what are those things that you're repeatedly working to build the muscle of consistency around? What are those things? And then what were your daily goals that you put onto your calendar? So if you're looking at the digital calendar that I have pulled up on my screen, like, you have several blocks in which you can put down what were your daily goals or daily activities that you wanted to engage in, to be very specific about moving the needle in your business. What am I going to focus on? What am I sourcing? When am I sourcing those things? And all of that type of planning. And then scanning through your stats for the month of March. So again, we're early. It's the 27th. So you still have time. If you didn't document your stats, go back and fill in your stats, because your goal is not to break the streak. Your goal is to be able to flip through your planner to actually have some data in there every single day around stats in your business. What's happening in your business? What are you doing in your business? That's your goal. And if you're not tracking your stats, then you can't make really good data-driven decisions going forward. Now, there's some data that you'll have, some historical data, and we'll get into that in just a second. But again, you need to get into the habit of tracking your stats on a daily basis so that you know whether or not you're reaching your goals. So an example would be, let's say you want to make $100,000 this year. If that's the case, we should be, as of today, if we're going to start today with this, we're going to take that $100,000 and we're going to divide it by the remaining number of months in this year. Okay, so that's April to December. And then we're going to take that $100,000 and we're going to divide it by the remaining number of weeks. How many weeks do we have in this year? So that monthly number is going to give you what is your monthly number that you need to be working towards. The weekly number is going to give you what's your weekly number that you should be working towards as far as your sales and or profits. Because again, I don't know if you're trying to reach $100,000 in sales, which is completely different than $100,000 in profit. Okay, just so you know, your sales are going to be much higher if you're trying to reach $100,000 in profit, and and that's because your profit margins can vary from anywhere from 15 to 45% or 50%, depending on what you're selling. I don't know what you're selling, but in any case, that's a much bigger number. And then you're going to divide that 100K by the remaining number of days in the year. So if you want to know what the remaining number of days in the year are, just do a Google search. Google will tell you like what day of the year is this and how many days are remaining in 2022. And it will give you that number. Whatever that number is divided by your 100K, that's your number that you're working towards every single day. So your daily goals, are you reaching your goals around the number of listings that you're creating or the number of SKUs if you're tracking SKUs? Are you reaching your number around your profits and your sales? Are you reaching your number around the number of shipments that you send? Like, are you reaching your goals every single day? That's the objective, is to figure that out. If you're not reaching those goals, then now you have something to work towards. If you've never planned before, now you got something to work towards. Otherwise, you don't have anything to work towards. Okay. And then you're going to go and make a note in your planner. You actually have inside your e-commerce planner. If you don't have one, grab an e-com planner. But in your e-com planner, you're going to go and make a note of the lessons learned for the month of March, because there are some lessons learned. Maybe you had some goals for sourcing products in the month of May or June, and you didn't reach those goals, or maybe you had a hard time finding a supplier for something, or maybe you didn't get as many sales as you wish you had, and just because maybe you didn't list the item early enough, or maybe you didn't put the keywords in there well enough. So let's document the lessons learned. What were your hiccups? What were your challenges? Maybe there were some challenges that you had in your own personal life with your family, and those were impacting your ability to reach your actual business related goals. So make a note of those, because that's a lesson learned. I will tell you, for the month of March, it's spring break here in the US. Like, there's a bunch of the spring break period is different from state to state and school district to school district, but there's a lot of disruption in your daily routine when it comes to spring break if you don't plan for it. And so that's going to definitely impact your numbers. So maybe your lesson learned was around spring break this year. I don't know. Um, and then we're going to go and document what our wins were. Were the things that we actually accomplished? What did we get done? So if I scroll through, and again, I'm in the Facebook group, the e-commerce planning Facebook group, I'm going to scroll to the place where I document all of my lessons learned and also my wins. What did I accomplish? Because we do want to celebrate the things that we actually did accomplish in our business. So take the time to go through, like, if you met your sales goals or you met your listing goals, you were very consistent about creating your listings every single month, then that's good. This is one of those things where you're like, I'm going to document that as a win. Okay. Then the next thing is we're going to summarize um, that information around our stats and our goals, and we're going to summarize that into the looking forward section of our planning. So this is where we're going to be planning or making some decisions about April. Okay, so we're going to put that into our looking forward after we've done all that analysis. The next step in this, and step 2, is to review your notes that you took throughout the month. Any ideas that you had, thoughts, plans. So as you are sourcing, there are sometimes you come across like, oh, this is an amazing supplier, or this is a great product idea. I was actually talking to my business partner. I feel like it was yesterday, maybe it was Friday, but I was like, this is an amazing product idea. No one is doing this thing right here. And so she and I actually made a note of that product idea so you don't lose it. So inside your e-commerce planner, inside your e-com planner, there's a place for you to put those brainstorming ideas that you come up with. So go through and review those, because this may be the month in which you can incorporate that or fold that into your April schedule that you're about to build. What are your sourcing notes? Did you have some ideas around sourcing and products that you found? Any personal notes that you made? Go through and scan those and document those in the looking forward. Because again, we're going to build the April schedule off of the information that we've put into our looking forward section of our ecom planner. Okay. Step 3 of this process is we're going to perform all of the month-end tasks. There's a bunch of month-end tasks. And again, we're not at the end of the month, so we're just going to make a note of those things today. But in your month-end tasks, I don't know what platform you're selling on or what products you're selling, but whatever platform you're selling on, there's going to be some year-end reports that you can run, not year-end, month-end reports that you can run. So run those reports off of that platform. So eBay, Etsy, Shopify, Walmart, Amazon, whatever. I don't know what platform you're selling on, but be prepared to run your month-end reports. In addition to that, and you're going to make some data-driven decisions off of the information you get out of those month-end reports. That's why we care about that information. You're also going to begin the process of preparing for your tax filing. So we're in the US, tax filing is something you have to do. You will know with your state comptroller what's required of you and or whoever you're working with for your tax filing, but there should be some tax related obligations that you have every month. So make sure you address those, get that information over to your accountant because they're going to need it. And if you haven't been tracking that data, then inside of your econ planner, you have a place where you can put your budget information, you can put your expense information, all of that you can track. Or if you've got software that you're using, again, whatever works for you, as long as you're performing that activity. The next thing is we're going to go through and perform some account and bank and expense reconciliation. You should be doing this every single month. I feel like this administrative task is one of those things that people don't do. You need to figure out whether or not you're profitable. You're going to go back and look at the data. You're going to see what's in your bank account to make sure you have enough capital to make the investment in inventory for the month of April and for Q2, because this is the start of Q2. We want to make sure we set ourselves up for success. There's a lot of stuff that's happening in April, May, and June. So let's make really good decisions. And we're going to reconcile our budget for the month of March and create a new budget for the month of April. You should always be building a budget with your estimates, how much you're going to be spending on whatever, whether it's sourcing inventory or even if it's marketing dollars. You need to make sure that you're building a budget. So, what's your goal for the month as far as revenue, to bring in your revenue? What's your goal for the month for all of the expenses? What are the things that you do need to buy? That includes the software subscriptions that you have. Any if you're creating shipments on your own, like you're shipping things to customers directly, seller fulfilled, or if you're shipping to your 3PL or your fulfillment center, maybe you need to buy boxes, maybe you need to buy tape. Like all of that, you should be tracking. And if you're not, then today is a good day to start doing that. Today is a good day to start the process of tracking that data so that you have it for next year. You'll be like, oh, well, last year I spent this much money on boxes, and because I have this many listings, I'm probably going to increase the number of boxes that I need to order. And it could be that you streamline your process so that you don't have to order boxes. Maybe you find a supplier that will ship directly to your 3PL for you or to wherever you need it shipped. And so then you don't have to, you can cut that expense. But again, you don't know. And if you are using a VA, you've hired a VA, well, maybe this year you have one VA. Next year, maybe you need to budget for 3 VAs or 4 VAs. Whatever is happening in your business, you know what it is. You need to account for those expenses and you should be tracking it every month. And you should be building a budget for the next month so that you can at least not get yourself in a bind. And if you are using your profits to reinvest back into your business again, then that will help you make some strategic decisions on how much money you're going to reinvest into inventory in the coming month. Okay? Now, everything that you find in your month end administrative tasks, you're going to summarize that and you're looking forward. All of the other stuff that we do, like we'll check things for expiration dates and you're going to check, you do your inventory audit. All of that is another activity that you still need to do. But these are things that we're planning for the upcoming month. And then in step 3 of this process, we're going to go through, step 4, we're going to go through and we're going to review the previous year's stats, the previous year's data, because that's going to also help us make some decisions potentially about what we're going to sell in April, May, and June, or just in April if you're going to focus on that. What were the things that you were able to get some traction on for last year? What did you sell that was like, oh my gosh, like I have my private label product, but I decided I was going to sell some Easter items, or I was decided that I was going to sell some Mother's Day products, or whatever it is. And so maybe that's just another thing that you can start sourcing this year, maybe source a little earlier, or be strategic about it next year and source it earlier, maybe in January instead of March, so that you can increase your profit margins for the coming year and increase the number of sales that you get on these particular products. Okay. So let's go back and let's look at the data. And what does the data reveal? What were the products that sold like crazy for you in April? Did you already order those products? Because I will tell you, in our planning, we're actually going to be looking at products that sold like crazy for like June. This in April, we're going to be preparing for June, or in April, we're going to be preparing for July. So we're going to start looking at that data in advance here in a second. But let's go back and look at our April stats for 2021. And if you are a new seller, you don't have that data, then you're going to start today. And you're going to start keeping notes around this information so that you have it. But if you have that data and you've pulled down those reports to review it, and you're going to review the information for the month that's ending, which is the month of March, and you're going to review the information for 2021 for the month of April, you're going to make a note of any interesting results that you see in the looking forward month. Okay, in the looking forward section of your planner. Now, this is all manual. There's some great software out there that'll help you to slice and dice this data and give you it a little bit faster. But if you are starting your journey, these are some of the things that you should be looking at, incorporating, reviewing on a regular basis so that you can make the best possible data-driven decisions. So the next one is planning for the new month. So the new month is the month of April that's coming up, 2022. And we're going to go through our econ planner. We're going to go through and look up the daily holidays that are happening in the month of April, the monthly holidays that are happening in the month of April, the international holidays that are happening in the month of April, any major worldwide, nationwide, statewide, local activities that are happening or events that are happening in the month of April, any major activities. So in the month of April, like I've already mentioned, there's Easter. So some people would say it's too late for Easter. And I'm like, no, you still got a little bit of time, but you really had a bigger opportunity if you put up Easter in February, but that's okay. You still have time. If you're going to do, seller fulfilled, you can do that real time now. There's still people buying Easter stuff. As a matter of fact, there's a bunch of Easter sales that happen this weekend. But what are those major activities? So in the U.S., the final, was it the Sweet 16, Final Four, Big Eight, Final Four, all basketball, college basketball. Again, something that happens every single year. It's not new. It's been going on for years. So that's something that's happening right now. And you'll make a note of all those things, because next year you're going to use that information to make data-driven decisions, and you're going to make those decisions earlier rather than later. But what are those worldwide, national, state, and local activities? And you're going to summarize all of that information for the month of April. You're going to put that into the looking forward. Now, we're going to do some advanced planning in step 6. Step 6, we're going to go out. We're going to look 6 to 20 weeks out in advance. We're going to go back into our econ planner. We're going to look at the daily activities that are happening, daily holidays that are happening in the month of May. We're going to look at the monthly activities, a month in May and June. And we're going to look at the monthly holidays, the international holidays, and any other major activity. So in the month of May, you got Mother's Day, you got Cinco de Mayo, you got Memorial Day. These are all U.S. holidays. But we don't want to just focus on the U.S., because in the U.S. it's a melting pot. There are all people from all walks of life, all nationalities, all different countries that are inside the U.S. So let's make sure we're focusing on the international holidays that are coming up. I will tell you, here in Frisco, last month we had, or this month, sorry, it wasn't last month. They had Holy, and there was a celebration of colors, and there was a bunch of different events that were hosted all over the city, and we had a big event here in Frisco. They also continued the celebration of colors this weekend. So again, that's an opportunity for you to potentially be sourcing products and selling products, because that population, Indian population, is a huge population in the Frisco area. You may be overlooking those opportunities. So don't overlook those opportunities, okay? And then monthly holidays. So I'm going to actually scan through. I'm going to go to the month of April. I'm also going to go to the month of May and June. So let me Let me pull up the holidays. So if you're looking on my screen, I'm going to go pull up the daily holidays, and I'm going to pull up the monthly holidays if my screen will cooperate with me. All right, so April, there's a bunch of them. Like there's a whole bunch of them. We have Good Friday, which is happening on April the 15th. That is, a holiday that people celebrate. Of course, we have Easter. We already know that. And then we have Patriots Day here in the U.S., which is April the 18th. So those people that are interested in celebrating Patriots Day may want flags. Some sourcing ideas there. I'm going to just scan through a couple more. We've got Earth Day coming up. We've got World Book Day, which is a whole nother heated topic here in the U.S. But anyway, Pet Parents Day is coming up for those people who actually have pets. Let me go backwards. I'm scrolling very quickly. So let me go back over here. In the month of May, we have Barbecue Day. Oh, that's big in the US. People love the barbecue. Okay. Wine Day. There's a bunch of drinkers around here somewhere. We already know Mother's Day is happening in the month of May. So again, these are all days. If you scan through this, it'll give you some great sourcing ideas of activities and or events that are happening where people are going to want to celebrate. So Wine Day, those people that are doing print on demand, oh my gosh, like the number of products that you could be selling, listing, creating listings for now, designing stuff now for Wine Day is going to be bananas. That's a great opportunity for you. Okay, in the month of June, let's see. We've got a bunch of stuff that's happening in the month of June. In addition to Father's Day and Juneteenth, those are happening in the month of June. But you also have, I don't know about this, this is Kissing Day is in the month of June. And that, I don't know. I'm not even going there. Then you have you love your dentist. I love my dentist day. We have Donut Day in the month of June. Again, print on demand people, and also those people that may be doing some wholesale supply, wholesale ordering or drop shipping. Those are great days in which to be planning now for that future. I will tell you here in the US, there's also local elections coming up in the month of May. So, again, there's a bunch of buying flags that are going to happen anyway. You have Patriots Day, you have in May, you have Patriots Day, you have elections, you have Memorial Day. All of those are centered around red, white, and blue here in the US. So that means there's a lot of people that are going to be buying a lot of flag related stuff. They're going to be putting up flags in their front yard. They're going to be buying lapel pins. They're going to be walking around in their red, white, and blue swimsuit. Okay, yeah, I know that's offensive. But anyway, that's what they're going to be doing. So why are you not sourcing those products? Okay, red, white, and blue flip flops. If you haven't seen them, people actually buy them. But this is an opportunity for you to actually go and look at what's on the planner. Now I'm going to go to monthly. So let's go look at what's happening in the month of May and April, and sorry, month of April, May, and June. So there's a bunch of stuff. I am in the autism community. So Autism Awareness Month is the month of April. So for me, sourcing my products for Autism Awareness Month and World Autism Day is actually in the month of April as well. Sourcing those products in the month of January and February is a huge deal for me so that I can get those sales around Autism Awareness Month. In addition to that, unfortunately, the Sexual Assault Awareness Month, Child Abuse Prevention Month, there is Jazz Appreciation Month. So again, those of you that are doing print on demand, like there's a gold mine of things that you could be selling. Even if you're not doing print on demand, you could be sourcing from suppliers to try and find the things that people are looking for those months. Then in May, we've got Dental Care Awareness Month, Stroke Awareness Month, Smile Day. So again, there's going to be a bunch of stuff around dental related things that people are going to be celebrating. And I'm confident that every dentist office in the US and maybe worldwide are going to have some dentist related stuff that they're going to put up on their walls, their doors. Why are you not selling? You could be selling B2B. You could be selling those products to the dentist office. Again, going through and make some intentional decisions, doing some advanced planning. The month of June, there's LGBTQIQ Pride. month. I'm messing that up and I'm sorry. There's a lot of letters in there. PTSD Awareness Month, Suicide Prevention Month. So again, I'm not going to go through the whole list, but there's a lot of stuff that's happening in the month of June as well. So you can make some intentional decisions around sourcing for the month of June. And if we wanted to, we can go ahead and look at the month of July, because there's probably some products that you could be sourcing for the month of July. So that's what I would do. I would look at April, May, June, July for sourcing ideas. I would look at the daily, I would look at the monthly, and I would look at the holiday. So I'm sorry, international. So let me go through and let me scroll to an international. And in the international, there's a bunch of international holidays. So some of these, you may have people that are from these countries that are in your neighborhood, in your community. I'm confident that you do, because the U.S. is a melting pot. Or maybe you are a person that sells internationally. Maybe you have a Shopify store. So this is an opportunity for you to find those products that people will eventually be buying for the month of April, May, June, July. So I would tell you, in the U.S., like back to school, people are going to be buying back to school stuff, even though school's not out yet. People are going to be buying back to school stuff at the end of June. They're going to be trying to get their kids ready for college, and they're also going to be getting their kids ready for kindergarten. So it's a wide span of the number of products and the types of products that people will be buying. Everything from socks, shoes, backpacks, pencils, you name it, computers, laptops, phone covers, everything, skims for their MacBook or whatever it is that they're going to buy. All of that, they're going to buy these products. Are you preparing to source and sell those products? Are you going back and looking at your data from last year? Did you sell these types of products? Or are you, is your wholesale, the product that you're selling right now, maybe your private label product, is there an opportunity for you to actually go back and look at your private label products and see if there's some complementary products that you could be partnering with to create bundles, or that you could be selling along with your current private label product? So as I look at the month of June, some of these I can't pronounce, but some of them I can. Like in Australia, there's Siblings Day that's coming up. That's Australia, Canada, and United Kingdom. So that's a big day that's coming up. In Singapore, there's Easter that's coming up in Singapore, Australia, and Norway. So that's also happening in April. Tea Day is happening in the United Kingdom. That's in April. I'm just naming a few. In May, in Germany, it's Father's Day. There's a day that it's Father's Day. And in Poland, there's Mother's Day. So there's, again, two different holidays, and you could be targeting those particular people from those specific countries and things like that to give you an opportunity to sell the products that they might be looking for. Because, again, if they're in the US and they want to celebrate Father's Day in Germany, like, they're going to be looking for those products that they can buy in the US for Father's Day. Now, those products will already be out, but again, gives you an opportunity to source some additional products. Then you have Portugal Day that is happening in June. You got World Ocean Day. That's probably a big one. World Teacher Day is happening in the month of June. And then in July, I'm just grabbing a couple of them. So Canada Parks Day is coming up. World Rebellion, Day of Rebellion. I don't know about that, but that may not be one you want to. It's your call. Okay, International Friendship Day is happening in July. So I gave you a bunch of different ideas for things that you could be looking at, potentially sourcing for the upcoming months, and you need to start planning for those things. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to take all the information that we've learned, all the research that we've done, and we're going to populate that into the looking forward section of our planner. That's what we're going to do. We're going to put it in the looking forward so that we can use that to make decisions for our business going forward into second quarter. Now, once you've kind of pulled all of that together, the other thing is, in step 7 of this journey, we need to determine what stats goals that we're going to establish for the new month, for the month of April. These could be stats goals around maybe you are a new seller and you are not consistent about creating listings every single day. So you need to get better at that. Maybe you're only creating one new listing a day and you need to get to 5 new listings a day, or 10 new listings a day, or 100 new listings a day. I have no idea. So you know what those goals are. Maybe it's a listing goal, maybe it's a sales goal. I gave you like the analogy, or not really an analogy, but just a method in order to figure out how to get to 100K starting today. You got to know what your daily goals are, your daily sales goals are, your monthly sales goals are, and your weeks are, your weekly and your monthly sales goals. You need to know what that is. Maybe you're not doing a good job of reworking listings, and sometimes we need to revisit those listings for whatever reason. And maybe one of your challenges is that you're not working enough in your business. Maybe you're just working 30 minutes a day in your business. So technically that's just a hobby if you're only working 30 minutes a day in your business. Maybe you're working a 9 to 5 and you're only able to commit an hour a day to your business. But let's go look at the stats that you want to start tracking for the month of April, that you want to actually implement for the month of April. Maybe you want to increase the number of hours you work from 1 hour a day in your business to 3 hours a day in your business. That means you have to make some intentional decisions about where you're spending your time and what you're not spending your time on. So let's go back. Let's make a note of those stats that we really want to track in step 7, and let's populate that into the looking forward section of your planner, your econ planner. Now, in step 8 of this journey, we're going to take all the information that we documented in our lessons learned. Your lessons learned section is going to have information for the month of March, but it's also going to have information for Q1 because we're on the tail end of Q1. So at that point, you will be at the end of Q1. And you have a bunch of stuff that you populated into the looking forward section of your econ planner. Based on all of that, we're going to highlight some of the priorities and the goals for the new month because there was a bunch of information that's in there. You're going to determine what your top goals are going to be. What are those top goals going to be for your business for the month of April? What are those income producing activity goals that you're going to put in place? Maybe one of those goals is to list 10 items a day if right now you're only listing 1 item a day. That's a stretch goal, and you're going to have to build up towards that maybe, or you're just going to have to bite the bullet, suck it up, and jump in. Feet first. Be prepared. The other thing is you need to also, as you're going through and you're establishing your goals, like what are your sales goals that you're targeting? What are your profit goals that you're targeting? If this is your month and the month of April, now I'm going to give you some additional ideas. For the month of April, maybe you've decided that I'm going to begin the process in April of not touching inventory anymore. I'm going to switch to a different e-commerce model. I'm not going to do retail arbitrage anymore. I'm going to do wholesale, or I'm not going to do retail arbitrage and I'm going to switch to print on demand or switch to drop shipping, whatever it happens to be. I'm going to launch my Shopify store in the month of April. Okay, fine. Or I'm going to begin the process. Because if you're working a 9 to 5 and you can only commit 15 to 20 hours a week to your e-commerce business, time may be tight. So you can gradually begin the process of saying Q2, I want to have my Shopify store 100% up and running, or I want to be 100% immersed into print on demand. Then you can implement activities into the month of April that gets you started on that journey. Then you can scale that up in the month of May so that by the month of June, this will be the end of Q2, you're actually fully immersed into that new process. So you do have to keep, in this example, you would keep the plates spinning. You'd have multiple plates in the air spinning. It's like a circus, okay? So many plates spinning at the same time. You're going to keep doing what you're doing because you don't want to break the streak on the income that you're already receiving in your e-commerce business. So you need to keep those plates spinning. Keep them going. Keep them going. And you're going to gradually fold into the schedule for the month of April, then May, then June. Gradually fold into this new method, this new approach that you're going to be introducing into your business. This may also be the time in which you're going to actually, start the process of scaling up to get a VA. Maybe you have plans that you really want to grow your business exponentially. You know that your one-man show is not going to work. Long-term, bigger picture, it's not going to work out for you. You're going to have to start the process of building a team. So maybe what you do is in the month of April, you write or document 2 or 3 SOP, standard operating procedures. So those are standard operating procedures that you should have for your business. So in the month of April, you write out 2 or 3. You make your goal is 3 SOPs in April, 3 SOPs in May, 3 SOPs in June. Again, we're not trying to completely disrupt what you're currently doing if you're making money. We just want to add the new things into your business activities that are going to actually help you be able to scale. So maybe that's what your journey is, or it could be that the month of April you write out 10 SOPs, and the month of June you write out, April 10 SOPs, May 10 SOPs, and then in June you actually begin the process of vetting or hiring VAs. So one of my strategies has always been, I go through, or at least I had in the past, is I would actually spend the month of June and July um, hiring summer like teens to work in my business. I would take all of my profits for the month of June and all the profits for the month of July, and I would save it off. So I would increase my sales, do different things like sell a little bit more retail arbitrage, sell a little bit more, whatever it happens to be, so that way I could siphon off that extra money. So if I was traditionally making, hypothetically in this example, I was making $1,000 a week, okay? And so if the extra work that I did got me to an extra $1,200 a week or $1,500 a week, I would siphon off that 500 extra dollars and I put it aside for June. I would put aside the 500 extra dollars for July, and I would do the same thing for August, so that way I had $1,500 for the month of September to hire or to keep those teenagers working for me to get ready for Q4. So, taking that extra money, the overage that I was making, I would take that overage and reinvest it into staff. And I would only have staff for a period of time. So, I made enough money to be able to keep that staff for anywhere from 8 to 10 or 12 weeks. So I would train them in the month of June, pay them pizza and Pepsi. Okay, I'm just gonna tell you, teenagers just want a reason to get out of the house and they want to get away from their parents. So the things that you can barter with them on is great. So a couple of Little Caesars pizzas and some soda and an excuse to get away from their parents' house. There you go. And so I would tell you that works. Don't be pedophilish about it. Make sure that you have a relationship with the kids so that way you don't get yourself in trouble. I'm not trying to set you up for failure. But, there's some kids that maybe are in your neighborhood that like to mow lawns. There may be kids that are throwing the newspaper. I know that's old school, but there's some kids that are doing stuff. Or maybe they're kids that are participating in activities in your church. And maybe you volunteer from time to time to work with the teenagers. So, hey, some of them are looking for a little extra cash this summer. You can throw them a $20 bill and give them a six pack of soda and give them a Little Caesars pizza. And they're happy because they're just away from their parents and they got a little extra change to go spend it on something. So in any case, I would hire the kids and they would work with me in the summer, and I would just get them trained on creating listings and fulfilling orders, doing shipments for me and that kind of stuff, cleaning up images for the products that I was going to list. And then when we would have this conversation when school's about to start, because school starts in August, towards the end of August, I have this conversation that I want to hire you to work after school in my business and on the weekends in the month of the end of September, all of October, and the first several weeks in November. Why? Because I need that staff for Q4. I can't do Q4 by myself. No matter how hard I would love to try, I can't do Q4 by myself. Now, that was me being independent. If you have the capital and the cash to work you through 3PL, and they have the staff to be able to take on your increased inventory, that's fine. If you have that capital, great. At the time that I was growing my business, I didn't have the capital. So I had to figure out and be creative in solving my problem. So if you're that person that's in the early stages of growing your e-commerce business, you get creative on how you solve this problem of not having enough staff for Q4. But in any case, they would come and work for me after school a couple of days and on the weekends a couple of days in my e-commerce business, cleaning up images, doing shipments to Amazon FBA for me, shipping to customers for FBM, which is fulfillment by merchant. And they would do this work for me. They would track all this information, and they only worked for me for this window. And that was an extra $1,500 that I siphoned off, and I was intentional about it. I siphoned it off from June, July, and August, or May, June, and July. However you want to work this out, siphon that extra money off so you can pay them to work in your business during the height of Q4. So maybe your strategy is to actually increase your sales incrementally so you can siphon off money, scrape, off the top, skim it off the top to put it aside for some future funding. Okay. Maybe the thing that you plan on doing is outsourcing and finding your 3PL in this Q2 so that you're ready to go and it's in place 100% in Q3 so that you can roll into Q4 without a bunch of glitches. So again, the other thing as we're thinking about advanced sourcing and planning is that you do need to think about what's happening around the world. There's going to continue to be disruptions in the supply chain. So because of that, this may be the time that instead of just sourcing all the way up to July, that you actually start the process of sourcing for August and September or October, placing your orders, getting your inventory in place, finding a place to store that stuff in the US now, if you're selling in the US. If you're selling and sourcing in other countries, that's different. Your strategy is going to be different. But again, start the process now because, again, you want to have all that worked out. You don't need glitches in your process. If you've got private label products, you need to start that journey now. So that's what this whole planning for the next month, it's not just about planning for the month of April. It is also about planning for thinking ahead and planning for future things that might come up that will impact your ability to be profitable, your ability to get products to customers. Now you can't control after it leaves your point of destination to the customer. That part you can't control. You have to rely 100% on your delivery process. So if it's USPS, FedEx, UPS, DHL, whoever it is, however it gets there, that part you can't control. But getting the inventory and having it available for people to buy, that you can start working on and making some intentional decisions around that. And I want to encourage you to do that. So step 7 of this process and step 8 are really important for you to really think ahead. So do some advanced planning, step 6, 7, and 8. If you don't have the document, you can go into the e-commerce planning Facebook group, go download it and use it to your benefit. Okay, help you to make some better decisions around planning in your business. And scratch out my 6 to 20 weeks and put like 6 to 30 weeks or 4 to 35 weeks, like whatever works for you. Okay, but do some advanced planning so you can make some decisions now about products and sourcing. Okay. So when you are done all the way up to step 8, then you're going to begin the process of last part of this is step 9, not last part, but the last part of the advanced like month end review and that kind of stuff is you need to build your budget for the month of April. Okay. Step 9 in this process is build your budget for the month of April. Pull that budget together so that you're ready to go and you know what you're doing for the month of April as far as how much money you plan on spending, what are the things you need to spend money on, depending on what type of business model you're running. Put together a budget. If you're going into each month without a budget in place, then you're not organized enough to be able to run a business. Okay, so let's start engaging in the activities that makes your business look like a business, and you can start planning for your future success. So let's do that. Start building a budget, start doing those activities. Now, the next thing is to create the new month. So this is step 10. Create the new calendar month. Now, I did talk about some advanced stuff, way advanced, and that's still part of this journey. But let's go focus on April for just a second. We're going to focus on April. So as we focus on April, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to start making some intentional decisions about the month of April. Okay, so taking some intentional action in our business. So we're going to bring everything that we kind of pulled out, and we're going to bring everything together. You're going to pull out your own personal calendar, whether it's your work calendar, your online calendar, your family calendar. If you got a Gmail calendar, pull that out for the month of April right now. Just go pull it out. And we're going to pull some of that information from that calendar and put it onto your econ planner. Why are we doing that? Because what happens in this journey, at least based on the experiences I've had, and I've talked to, communicated, coached hundreds of people. And the reason that they start this e-commerce journey and they quit is because they don't have a schedule and they haven't figured out how to make e-commerce work in their life. So one way that you can do that is you got to build out your family schedule, and you got to incorporate it into your plan. If your kids are in soccer, keep them in soccer. If you are, going to violin practice on Wednesdays, go to violin practice on Wednesdays. If you are all the things that you normally do, continue doing some of those things if they are serving you well and they bring you peace and joy. Continue to do those things. The thing is to work your e-commerce business in those outer areas if necessary, especially if you're working a full-time job. So if your boss says March the 17th, we're traveling to Canada, this should not be a surprise for you, and you should be planning for that trip to Canada now. Okay? Preparing for that, making some decisions about the week before the trip to Canada and the week after the weekend, getting back from Canada, so that maybe some of the activities that you're going to miss out in your e-commerce business, where you're trying to build the habit of consistency in your business, maybe you move some of those into the week before, you move some of those activities into the weekend after, so you don't lose the momentum that you're getting in your business. So I'm going to give you an analogy. It's a really sad, pathetic analogy, but it's a true one. Every year, people establish New Year's resolutions. Every year. And they start this journey of implementing their New Year's resolution on January 1st. I'm going to stop doing this. I'm going to start doing this, blah, 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 blah. And they have all this stuff. And then what happens is over time, gradually, something disrupts that plan. Something interrupts that pattern, that routine that you're trying to build. It could be something as minuscule as my kid got sick, so I couldn't go work out today. All right. That's the first time you broke the habit. You were doing good. You were clipping along 20 days back to back, consistently, work it out. And then the kid got sick, kind of interrupted the pattern. You didn't get back up on that horse 100%. You just said, next day, I think I'm going to stay and see if little Billy is okay today. He seems like he's okay, but I'm going to stay. So now you're 2 days in of breaking that routine that you were trying to build, that habit that you were trying to build. Okay? And then you continue to erode at this habit that you're trying to build. There's always a reason. There's always an excuse. Oh, I got a flat tire. Oh, well, the dog got sick, so I had to take the dog to the vet. There's always something, always. So what I'm trying to do is help you to increase your awareness of those things that are going to happen, that are going to disrupt your life and disrupt your schedule. We can't do anything about true emergencies that come up. But a dentist appointment that you scheduled you scheduled it last month for this month that's coming up. That's not a surprise. We can plan for that. That doesn't mean that you stop, in this example, you stop working out. You just work out at a different time of the day. Okay? Just because your dentist appointment's in the morning doesn't mean you can't still go work out at the gym. And so what we do is we find excuses as to why we can't continue doing something because something else came up. And this something else that came up may not have actually been a surprise. It may have actually been planned, but you didn't think far enough ahead to be able to plan around it. So when you're pulling out for the new month, for the month of April, and you're going out and looking at your personal calendar, it serves the purpose of helping you to put that stuff onto your schedule so that you can stop having the excuse of why you can't continue to work regularly in your e-commerce business. If you're trying to scale to $1 million business, you got to build the habit of consistency. You got to get these routines in place. You have to. So let's stop making excuses and let's start doing the things that are really going to matter in our business. So add those activities that are on your personal calendar that are big or that are important, that are going to disrupt your routine. Add them to your e-com planner. So you just go into the month of April and you go and add the dentist appointment on line 1 and line 2 or whatever. Now, I will tell you, if you came to the weekly planning session or the daily planning session, I always encourage you not to schedule doctor's appointments or dentist appointments in your designated work time. If you say you're going to work in your business every single day from 8 to 10, then don't schedule dentist appointments and doctor's appointments or anything else. The roofer is coming, you got to go talk to the insurance agent, you got to go do a parent-teacher conference at the school. Don't schedule anything between 8 and 10. Schedule that stuff at 11 or 12. Don't let anything disrupt it. Turn the phone off. Turn off the internet, turn off, not the internet, but turn off, social media, or just lock your phone so that you can focus 100% on your business during those working hours. It's a job. Pretend like you clocked in, okay? That's the goal. So if you have it on your schedule, it's not a surprise at that point, and you can't use it as an excuse to continue working in your business on that day, okay? So then, are there activities that are major in the other areas of your life that are coming up? So if you were planning on doing spring cleaning, make a note of the days in which you were planning on doing spring cleaning. Or if you guys were going to go on a trip for spring break, make a note of those days on your calendar. If you were planning on closing on a house on April the, I don't know, 22nd, put it on your calendar so you can be mindful of it and increase your awareness of the fact that, oh, by the way, this is going to disrupt my schedule in some kind of way. Make sure you get all those doctor's appointments and dentist appointments. Maybe this is your opportunity to go schedule, like contact the doctor and dentist and say, you know what, I need to move these appointments to the afternoon. Okay. If your working time is the morning, move the stuff to the afternoon. Stop scheduling stuff in the morning starting today, if that's your work period. Okay. Because everyone has a most productive time of the day. So figure that out. Maybe if you are a person that's going to church on a regular basis, and let's say that your church is having a women's conference, again, put that on the schedule. It's not a surprise. You're just increasing your awareness of it and putting it onto your calendar so that there's no surprises there. You're also going to add all the stuff that you documented in the looking forward section of your planner to your April calendar. There's a bunch of stuff that you put in there. There may be things around sourcing inventory. Going to add that to the calendar. Now, here's where we're going to get very strategic. The planning of what you're going to source, because you have activities that you're going to engage in your business every week at a minimum. You should be listing every week at a minimum. It should be daily, but anyway, shipping, sourcing, product research, listing or keyword research, all of that stuff. These are activities you should be doing in your business every week, no matter what. So let's begin the process of being a little more strategic about some of these activities. So when I say a little more strategic, if we're going out 4, 6, 8, 10 weeks, 12 weeks, whatever, maybe the first week in April, that week is really focused 100% on closing out the month of March. That's fine. Your first full week is next week. Okay. So that's the first full week of April. Then the second week of April, maybe you are sourcing or you're doing product research the second week of April, and you're doing product research for the month of June and July and August, and you're being intentional. And let's be a little more granular about that. Let's get a little more detailed about that. You can put on your planner that I am going to source for the 4th of July. I'm going to source for Patriots Day. I'm going to source for whatever. So now you're specific. You know what you're hunting for if that is how you are running your business and you're selling products based on what's coming up. If you have private label products, then again, going back and look at your statistical data will give you some insight as to whether or not you need to scale up your orders for this year in April. Maybe your sales are the month of May, sorry. So maybe your sales started to gradually go up last year for your private label product in the month of May and June. So you can start placing those orders in the month of April if you haven't already done that in the month of March. So be strategic about that. Let's get ahead of it and not behind it. And because of the fact that we know that there's a supply chain issue, maybe we go ahead and begin the process of sourcing those things that we know, we need to source for July or August or September, as I mentioned before. So let's pull out that looking forward section and let's make some intentional decisions around the activities that we want to engage in for the coming months. And in my example, I said, if you're going to start, maybe you're going to start the process of doing drop shipping. So let's be intentional about adding that to our activities that we're going to do in the month of April. We're going to engage in activities around drop shipping. Maybe you spend the month of April actually just learning. And then the month of June you do, because again, you got to keep the other plates going. If you're making money, don't disrupt those plates. Keep them going. Don't drop the plates. Okay. So we're spinning plates in this example. The month of May, maybe this is where we're actually compiling our list of new suppliers for our drop shipping business. And we're finding those suppliers. Okay. And then the month of June, we're starting the process of ordering. We're building our Shopify store. We're building whatever store, WooCommerce. I don't care what you, Wix, whatever you're building, Weebly. Doesn't matter. BigCommerce. I don't know what you're building, but we're going to begin the process of building out that store. Okay. So that it's 100% ready to go when definitely Q3. Because in Q3, we're going to spend that time getting more familiar, more comfortable with this new form of e-commerce that we folded into our business. So that when we get into Q4, we are running our wholesale business and we're running our drop shipping business, or we're running our retail arbitrage business and online arbitrage business and our new drop shipping business simultaneously. So we have two forms of e-commerce going at the same time. So we're going to gradually build up whatever it is over time, so we're not stressing ourselves out, making ourselves nuts, going crazy. We're going to do that at the same time, and this is where you're putting that stuff into the looking forward. So what are the things you're going to be doing in the month of April so that you can build onto that in the month of May, and build onto that in the month of June, and build onto that in the month of July, so you're ready to go 100% when you get into Q4? That's how you should be thinking about it. You should be thinking about, how do I gradually do these things? Now, if you have a bunch of time and a bunch of money, you don't have to do the gradual approach. You can literally just slingshot yourself into this, okay? Like a bottle rocket. Jump in, feet first. If you got the money and the team, go do that. But if you're a one-man show or a two-man show or one-woman show or a two-woman show, whatever, then you're going to want to incrementally, over time, gradually scale to that place, okay? People who have deep pockets and a bunch of free time available to them, they can just do this in 1 month. Okay. For those that are working jobs, that have families, they have to balance all of this together. Then you want to gradually build towards it. Make sure you're documenting your lessons learned so that way you're 100% ready to go in Q4. You don't want to be trying to scale this and learning drop shipping in Q4. You want to have already done the things now so that you're ready in Q4 to be able to run a dropshipping business along with a retail arbitrage and online arbitrage business, or a print on demand business and a dropshipping business. Like, I don't know what you're doing. So that's what I'm saying. Gradually build towards that. So you can do both simultaneously to scale your business. All right. So that's what we're doing in the planning for the new month. We're looking at what are those activities each week in our planning that we need to engage in. So maybe week 1 of April, we're focused 100% on, we're doing the stuff we need to do in our business anyway, but we're adding into it. We're going to go ahead and reconcile the month of March, and we're going to reconcile Q1. Okay. Then in week 2, we're sourcing for what? We're sourcing for June, July, and August. Maybe, I don't know. We are preparing to hire a VA, so we're putting some VA activities on that planner. We are preparing to learn drop shipping, so we're putting some drop shipping activities. So we're putting that into week 2 and week 3 of the month of April, and then we go to week 4 of the month of April. What are we doing? So we're going to finish April strong. What are we sourcing for? What are we looking for? What are we trying to sell? What are the numbers we're trying to get to? That is the kind of stuff that you're putting on your plan. So you're breaking down every single week in the month of April and indicating what are the things you're going to be doing in your business to get to that end goal of Q4 or the end goal of the end of Q3. What are those things? Okay. So all of that, there's a lot to that process, but all of that I've documented in this sort of monthly planning, and that you want to build out each one of the individual weeks in the month of April. And you have placed in your ecom planner to build that out. So you can write out exactly what's happening on lines 3, 4, and 5 of your ecom planner for every single day in the month. Okay. And then the next thing, and towards the end, we're almost at the end of this journey, is you're going to go and you're going to look at your remaining goals from the previous month. We said that we had some goals, and we've got to if there's anything from March or anything from Q1 that we need to carry into Q2, let's go ahead and put it on the April monthly goals. You've got to establish your top monthly goals, your income producing monthly goals, your admin or ops or VA related goals, your marketing and ads related goals, traffic related goals. Like maybe you don't have the money right now for marketing and ads. So the only thing you can do is traffic, running your listings through Pingler and Ping Farm. That may be the best thing you can do. Getting better at your keyword research, having better images. Those may be the things, naming your images as you upload them so that way, people can find you in the image search. Like, that may be the thing. Listing your stuff over on Pinterest. Those may be your activities for the month of April if you don't have money to run ads. Okay. Creating your own Marketing videos. There's all kinds of little tools that you can use, including Canva, to create a marketing video for your products to showcase them. So there's little things that you can be doing if you don't have the money to do ads and marketing. So put those things onto your planner, your ecom planner, so that you can build and establish those goals for that month. And then make a note of all of this as you go through. Make a note of the things that um, the things that you really wanted to focus on, because they should already be in your lessons learned of your document. They should be there, and you're just extracting it out and putting something on every single day of your planner. So when you're done, your monthly planner is filled in. All of your monthly goals are defined. All of your income producing goals, your VA or your operations or your admin related goals are defined. Your marketing, ads, and traffic related goals are all defined. You've taken into account the upcoming holidays. You've taken into account all of the upcoming everything that's coming up. Okay. So I know that's a lot. I talked for a long time. So let me reset the room because I'm in Clubhouse and I'm also live in the Facebook group. So the first thing is, hi, my name is Nicole Whitlock. I am with Ecom Sellers. My passion is helping people make better data-driven decisions, make better organization-related decisions when it comes to running their e-commerce business, so that they can achieve whatever their ultimate goals are. To be a $1 million seller, to be $1,000 seller, it doesn't, whatever it happens to be. I want to help you engage in the activities that are going to help you move the needle long-term, bigger picture. And so my passion is helping people get organized and helping them to figure out where they have opportunities to make some adjustments and what they do every day, every week, and every month in their e-commerce business to help scale and grow their business. We host a daily e-com planning session in our e-commerce planning Facebook group. It is an open public Facebook group. You're welcome to join it. We also host a session on Clubhouse, and that is daily. We host a weekly planning session. It's at 7 o'clock daily. Then we have our weekly planning session is at 7 o'clock on Saturday mornings, where we plan out the future week. And we're going to use this amazing plan that we pulled together for the month of April to build out our weekly plan for our business. And then last but not least, I help people build their monthly plan going forward in their e-commerce business. And that's my passion, and that's where my heart is. And if you're a person that wants some help, some guidance on getting more organized, being more strategic in your e-commerce business, and engaging in the activities that are really going to move the needle in your business and help you to get to your $1 million in sales, then you're welcome to schedule a coaching session with me. You can go to www.ecomsellers.com, click on coaching, and I am more than happy to help you. We can schedule a 20-minute session. It's absolutely free, and I can help you on your e-commerce journey. You're also welcome to join us in Ecom Sellers Academy, and I encourage you to get the Ecom Planner. There's so much gold in that planner. There's so much great information in there that's going to help you make some decisions around your e-commerce business and your e-com journey, and to help you get organized and ready for your future success. So I hope that's helpful. You can buy your e-commerce planner at www.myecomplanner.com. Again, www.myecomplanner.com. If you would like the monthly planning document, you can download that for free inside of the e-commerce planning Facebook group. Just go there, join the Facebook group, and go into the file section, and you can download this document and step through it yourself. And you can determine what it is that you are or are not doing in your business to help you on this journey. All right. Well, I hope this was helpful. Please share this out with a friend. I probably should have said that at the beginning. Let somebody else know. I know I talk fast. I apologize for that. And with that being said, I hope that you will join us next week or Monday as we plan out our daily or execute our daily activities in our e-commerce business. And with that being said, I hope you have an amazingly blessed Sunday. It is March the 27th, and we're going to say goodbye for now. Happy Sunday.